Brian Scogan with First Light Outdoors. Blessed to be a pro staffer with them. And but we're up here in the mountains of Colorado, elk hunting. It's the first rifle season, and so it's mid-October. I think it's October 14th today. We kind of lose track when we've been up here a few days now, or 4 days, I think. But just in thinking about being up here, being prepared is just crucial. And just in the days we've been here, I think we've seen almost all 4 seasons. It's yesterday I was wearing a t-shirt. It was in the 50s. It was just beautiful with the sun shining. And today, as you can see, it's snowing. We're in a winter weather advisory, and it's pretty cold. I actually think it's right around 30. So it's not anything bitter today, but just to be prepared. So I just kind of wanted to talk about, and I'm not going to discuss, bringing what bullets you're going to shoot or arrows you're going to fling or that type of stuff. It's more, what do you need for yourself to be prepared to come up here? And so starting back home, starting weeks ahead, is just getting a little bit in shape. If you're not in shape, it's pretty tough being up here, just because any direction you're going to go, you're going to be hiking up at some point. And with the elevation, there's not as much oxygen up here as there is back home in Minnesota, and so that it just takes that acclimation to take place. And in planning your trip, plan to come out a couple days ahead, because it takes a couple days to get the body acclimated to the elevation. And but getting in shape and getting prepared for the hunt is important for your person. And on the way out, getting hydrated, drinking a lot of water helps. I had a good headache early on when we got up here, and that would help with that. So drink a lot of water the day or two I had. Just on getting sleep, getting sleep and carving yourself up, eating. We were talking about eating meals, It's better to eat several small meals and have some snacks and let those, let that energize your body, and that helps keep you warm as well. So that's another thing to think about, is not a big lunch and a big supper, but, kind of a good breakfast and a smaller lunch, or a morning snack and your lunch and another snack and a supper and a bedtime snack, that kind of stuff. And all along keeping yourself hydrated. Coffee is good when it's cold, but it doesn't do anything for you as far as hydrating. So make sure you got a lot of water. And like for us here, we have to even be thinking about keeping water thawed, and my brother, he'll probably do a video on it at some point, but he made a nice tank that's got a heat coil in it to where we can hook it to a deep cell and keep our water thawed out. But that's just another thing to be thinking about. Talk a little bit about clothing and what you're going to pack to come up here. If we start with the underclothes, good. All the performance materials, like the Under Armour products, and there's a lot of other products out there that are cheaper, but talking about getting a good product underneath to start with, and then the layers you're putting on to keep yourselves layered, because it can start out in the morning and be in the 20s, and it can be 45, 50 in the afternoon, and you're shedding those layers. But to be able to stay comfortable at home, lounging around the house, cotton's good and that feels good, but cotton really doesn't serve real well up here. Things like merino wool is real good. It wicks the sweat and moisture away from your body, and it also, even when it's wet, it has insulation factors to it, so that's real good. Thinking about your head, hands, and feet, getting a good hat. I'm wearing just an Outback hat, and that's oilskin, and it's got a wide brim on it, which is wonderful for rain and snow, just keeping it off your neck and off your ears, but having a good hat and gloves and that type of stuff, and having a few different sets of gloves. You can have, that could be one piece of cotton you bring up, is just those cheap little cotton gloves for around camp doing stuff, and then your good gloves for going in the field. And of all the stuff you bring, make sure you're bringing a couple sets, because you don't know if you're going to take on moisture at any point, if it's a downpour, or excuse me a minute, I'm going to cough. Excuse me. I think I was talking about gloves there. Just to have, again, a couple sets, and make sure they're, warm for the conditions and what you need, so a few different pair. Same with boots. Get a good pair of boots that can handle hiking and are for the temperature of the season you're going to be hunting, and have a couple sets. There's a lot of marshy marshy spots up in this area we're in where you're walking and all of a sudden you're walking in water and you didn't even see it. It's just springs coming out of the hills. And so if your foot goes down and you take on water, you're going to be thankful you got another good set of boots along. Camp shoes is another thing that's really nice, you know, like the Crocs and those type of things, just to have in camp to slip on when you got to run out of the tent at night, or to wear around the campfire while your boots are drying, you know, that type of stuff. So boots is real important, and the socks are going to be the same type of thing with the underwear stuff. Just get good material that's going to wick moisture away and keep you warm and dry. And the outer clothing, you know, that's your choice. There's a lot of good products out there. The main thing to remember is just the variation in temperatures, that you want something that you're going to be comfortable with. A couple other things to think about is is the air up here is evidently very dry, because we've all kind of been complaining about chapped lips, and thank goodness we all got chapstick along. And lotion's the other thing. It's just skin's cracking and bring kind of those types of things along that can take care of you and keep you comfortable, because that's miserable if you got chapped lips for a week sitting up here. So outside of that, I think it's just important to put a lot of thought into where you're going, what you're doing. Another thing, speaking of that I didn't realize is, you know, like wearing camo here, even though we're in a rifle season, so you need to be wearing blaze orange in the rifle season up here. And one thing I learned on this trip is that the camouflage blaze orange, which I think is really cool back in Minnesota for our slug hunters, up here it's not legal. You need to have regular blaze orange, and I don't remember the percentage that you need to have, but it can't be the camouflage stuff. And it's kind of funny, actually. I think only the hunters have to wear it, but I'm going to wear it for my own safety. But be thinking about that, you know, what season you're hunting and those types of things. So outside of that, I think that's all I can think of right now. And I'm just going to sit here and wait. Oh, glasses. I don't know, did I talk about glasses? Sunglasses are a must, of course, and the sun is going to peek out, so, you know, I got my pair right here. I'm ready to go, and it's going to come any minute here. But the other thing to think about is just a pair of safety glasses for when you're going out and you're staying in the morning and you got those sticks that you're going to miss and one's going to catch you in the eye, you know. So just make sure, because that's another thing that's going to ruin a trip. But have those pair of glasses along too. So, but prepare ahead of time. Check out the regulations where you're going to hunt. Check out the forecast. And the other thing is don't trust the forecast. You know, it was actually when we came out last Wednesday, it was supposed to be storming on Thursday. So we drove all night to get here before the storm, and it did storm a little bit. And this week was supposed to be beautiful, but they changed it over the weekend, and you see we're in a winter weather advisory today. So just, if you're hunting in an area where it's going to be where it could get cold, plan for it to get cold. So just bring the stuff you need. Spend some time getting into shape, not lifting weights, that cardio stuff, you know, a lot of jogging or a lot of walking or whatever you need to do, but get that heart rate up, and because it's the other thing that's miserable. If you're pathetically out of shape like I have been, and you come up here, boy, it's a rude awakening. So it's good to get into shape and hydrate yourself ahead of time on that trip out. Get hydrated and get into shape, and it makes the trip just wonderful when you feel good and you're up here. And because I tell you, God has blessed us with just a beautiful few days here, and we got a few days left that we're going to thoroughly enjoy. So try to get yourself out and take it all in. Brian Scogan, take care.